Happy Friday! Welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show. Guys, shout out to OG's Brands, the official sponsor of Flavoring Fridays. Head on over to ogsbrands.com to see their full lineup, including their two newest gummies, the OG's Naturals and the Big OGs, and find out where you can purchase. I am Anthony Totri, joined as always by the Big Hat Bob himself.
Big Hat Bob.
Senor Erik Ruby, who's also behind the Mac, making all the magic happening, guys. Do us a solid. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. And if you are new here, welcome. And also, leave a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. Word on the street is every time you leave a like and a 5-star review, Erik's hat gets one size bigger.
I mean, I know we said it on the audio only episode when we talked about recruits. So maybe go back and listen to that if you missed it.
Magic
but
word.
I think it's time we tell the people how they can benefit off this.
Let them
hat.
know. Let them know, Erik.
If you don't know why I'm wearing this hat, it's not just under my own volition, no matter what people say. But one of our diehards, SB, Short Bus, said that if I wear this hat for the entire month of May, he will pay for somebody's diehard membership in full for a year. So that is what I'm doing. And the way we're going to decide the winner is you have to leave a 5-star review on this podcast. All 5 stars. Anything less, 4.9 stars, 4 stars, you ain't getting nothing. 5-star review, and you have to use the secret word. The secret word is forks. Now you can just say forks up, super easy, super basic, or if you want to find something creative, maybe we'll find a way to give you some bonus points. Everybody who leaves a 5-star review on this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, using the word forks is going to be entered into this big hat. We're going to cut up your name, and at the very last show, when I can take this godforsaken hat off, we're going to draw a name out of the hat, and that will be the person who wins a free Die Hard membership.
I love it. I love it.
Look
I'm
at
looking
that.
at the Die Hard Discord right now, and it's going.
Poppin'.
It's just going crazy.
Always
It's
popping.
Just running, and running. Erik, we got a lot to get into, but I want to kick off things a little bit differently, right?
Mhm.
Normally we got segments, stuff we want to talk about, but got a little bit of a surprise for everybody. We got
Surprise.
CJ Fite. We got an interview with
Whoa.
CJ Fite, a staple of this Arizona State defense, obviously a big part of that Sun Devil defense in 2023, figures to be an even bigger contributor in 2024. So let's go ahead. Let's see what's new with Arizona State defensive tackle CJ Fite. We're joined now by Arizona State defensive tackle CJ Fite. CJ, thanks so much for taking the time today, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you for having me.
Your first time on the podcast, man. Obviously, you went through a full season at Arizona State with the new coaching staff, just finished up your second spring season with the Sun Devils. Before we get into the latest stuff, a question I've been meaning to ask you for some time now is just when you were going through the recruiting process and you had a guy like Kenny Dillingham try and recruit you, from Texas to try and play at ASU. What was it about Kenny Dillingham and his coaching staff that brought you to Tempe?
How quick I committed after they spoke to me is probably a testament to how they do recruit. Obviously, when I decommitted, they were committing back with like a month left until signing day. So they had me in 2 weeks pretty much. So that's just a testament to how they recruit and how good the recruiters are and how good of people they are.
Yeah, absolutely. For you, looking a little bit back to last year, obviously you played Texas high school football, right? So that's a little bit different. I know everybody from Texas likes to make that known. Texas high school football is a little different. For you, what was the biggest learning curve or something that you maybe not struggled with but felt like you had to adapt to when you got to the college level?
It's obviously speed. The speed changes for sure, even from size, strength. speed of the game, all those were like the really big differences. So I knew I had to hone into the details in the weight room and on the field in the spring. So just learning how to play fast was probably my biggest thing.
Definitely. For you, second spring now, right? Complete as an Arizona State Sun Devil. What was different? What was different this spring versus last spring? And overall, what do you feel like you accomplished over those 4 weeks?
This spring, I was way more confident, obviously. After going through the season and going through my first spring and having that behind me, I could focus on the other things, like the other things, smaller things of football, smaller details and things like that, instead of trying to figure out how to practice and how to go through spring. Is now I know how to get through spring. Now I need to learn how to play at a different level and play with the details and not everybody's playing with.
Absolutely. Did it feel like a little bit more of like, okay, you're not a senior, but you had been here. Like, did you feel like a little bit more of like, okay, like I'm that guy on the D line heading into the second year of spring, or was it more of just like, you know what, like we're just gonna run through it again?
Oh, it was obviously just more like I'm that guy. I mean, like I said, the confidence from going through the season in the spring last year is just I just felt better about myself and better about my abilities. So just going through there and not being in my head the whole spring is always helps you a big bunch because in the last year in my first spring I was in my head a whole bunch. Like I'm having bad practice. I'm like I can't do this or
Yeah.
mess things like that. So now being able to go through this spring and not have those days where I'm like, I'm no good or this isn't gonna work or I'm not gonna play this year. It's more like now it's like, all right, I had a bad day. Now let's bounce back the next day and just get better.
Absolutely. Looking a little bit at the spring itself, right? A new defensive line coach in Deron Reynolds. What do you feel like, just as a unit, right, as a whole, Deron Reynolds brings to the Arizona State coaching staff?
I think he brings the details and just the vet status. Like just the things he teaches us is crazy. Well, he doesn't always talk about football. Sometimes he's talking about life. Before we start every meeting, he always has this slideshow about the first 5 slides. They're quotes, and he elaborate on the quotes so we can learn and get better in life and not just football. So I think he just brings that vet status, and then with the wisdom he brings, it's big, especially with uh, coaches always talk about life after football, and they want to turn the players into men, and he's for sure doing that from the get go.
Absolutely, right. He's got so much experience doing this across the league, doing it at the college level. Like for you, when you heard Deron Reynolds was going to be a new defensive coach at Arizona State, what was your first thought about it?
At first, it was bittersweet because obviously I grew close to Coach A because he's the one that recruited me in the back half to get me here. Him and Coach Ward. So for it to find out that I was getting a new D line coach, I didn't know how to feel at first. But then when he came in and we started doing the practices, the walkthroughs with him, I started learning from him. I said, okay, yeah, we're gonna get some done because the things we learned from him then it was crazy. Like before we even got in pass and started doing drills, we were learning so much. So I was like, it's gonna be fun learning from him.
Yeah, I remember talking with Coach Reynolds in the spring a little bit and just asking him about you specifically and what he wanted to see you do in your second year at this level. And he mentioned he wanted to try and hone in on your pass rushing abilities to try and make you one of those interior defensive tackles that is able to push the pocket a little bit. How do you feel like you've grown in that sense? And how close do you feel like you are to truly honing in your ability to rush the passer from a defensive tackle spot?
Well, I made leaps from last year. Last year it was more of I get up the ball and I'm burying my head into the lineman. So now I'm actually focusing on pass rush and like learning how to pass rush. So I'm going and I'm running my line and I'm using my hands, beating his hands, make sure he doesn't touch me. If he does touch me, make sure I get his hands off me. Now I just need to figure out counter moves. He's taught us so many counter moves. It's just in the moment, not to like just freeze up and like actually use the counter moves.
Yeah.
But I'm making progress for sure. Last year it was more of like it was like I'm not a pass rusher. That was one of my things with confidence. I'm not a pass rusher, so I'm just going to play the run. So now I can move forward and not just say I'm a run stopper. And soon enough, I'll be able to say I'm all around D lineman.
Absolutely. Does it feel a little different because being an interior defensive lineman, right? Like you said, as a defensive tackle of your size, I feel like usually it is less of a focus on pass rush and more like let's be like a big body to stop the run, right? Being a part of that front seven. Does it feel like a little bit of like you're playing a different game with a lot of these hand movements and the counter moves? I feel like it's almost like it's like UFC or fighting, just kind of the way that you have to almost read the offensive lineman and anticipate what they're going to do next.
Yes, it's different for sure. I've learned not to, or you have to read off them, but you don't dictate your first move off what they do. You have your first move in mind, and if the first move doesn't work, then you have to work on the counter move, and then you should have one main move and 3 counter moves off of it, so you can always keep them guessing. Always have something different for them, just to make sure you get to the passer.
Absolutely. Look, again, kind of just talking about spring ball and how that finished off. Obviously, you look at last year, there are a lot of injuries to the team as a whole. You guys stayed pretty healthy throughout spring. Obviously, a few nicks and bruises to some guys that didn't end up playing in the spring game or whatever. For you, kind of zooming out, looking at spring ball as a whole, and not so much as to what you accomplished, was there any newcomer on the team, whether that be on the defensive line, whether that be a transfer or an early enrollee, that kind of surprised you throughout spring ball?
I'd say Rodney Bimage. He had a strong. Actually, he was one of my roommates, and when he came in, he's always been funny. So like when he got on the field and he could play, I was like, oh, like Rodney can play a little bit. So yeah, him for sure. And
That's
I
awesome.
also had Ghost.
Yeah.
Ghost. I like the way Ghost plays. So to watch him, he's surprised me also.
Ghost plays hard, man. Ghost plays hard, especially at that safety spot. I feel like coming down, everybody saw what he did in the spring game. Like you start putting together hits like that, people are gonna definitely know who you are.
Yeah, he's physical.
For you, kind of looking forward to this season, Big 12. Like you're from Texas, you just played the 1 year in the Pac. When you saw that ASU was moving conferences to the Big 12, for you, was there a little bit of excitement, right? Being that Texas kid and knowing now, hey, like some of these Texas schools that either didn't recruit me or that I didn't go to, now they're gonna have to see me.
Oh yes, for sure. When I figured I was going to Big 12, I hit up my dad like immediately after. I was talking to him about it. Just to be able to go back, like play those Texas teams, and even if not even the Texas teams, just the teams I watched, like Oklahoma State, K-State, just teams like that I watched growing up because I always watching Big 12 or SEC. So just to be able to go and play in those environments, play in those games, it's like a dream come true because that's really what I've been wanting to do. And like all through high school, I wanted to play in the Big 12. So to be able to do it now, it's great.
Yeah, I can only imagine, man. You mentioned your dad. Your dad, I think again, this is a dude. He's got to be your biggest fan, right? Your dad's your biggest fan.
Yeah, yes, for sure. You see, they got my stuff right here and stuff. My brother's stuff right there. And he has a whole bunch of stuff on this wall. It's like our little shrine room in here. So yeah,
I love it. I love it. Well, so for you, that relationship like with your dad, is that like something that was just like you guys going out playing Pop Warner football, or like just growing up, were you always really close to your dad? Just what's that relationship like between you guys? Because you mentioned, right, you got that whole shrine, and your dad is all about you in ASU football, man.
Yes. It started off when I was younger. I played baseball, and they always said I was lazy. I didn't do what I needed to. I didn't do any extra work. So I talked to my mom, my dad, my mom, like, hey, y'all need to go out there and play. So then we'll go out there, play catch, we go to the batting cages or something. And then as we grew up, I started playing football in middle school. That was my first time playing. And that's when he was telling me, like, teaching me things, doing drills with me, just things like that. And then as I grew up, we just started bonding over that. And obviously, it also came from we'll go out, go fishing and hunting. And just like it just continues to grow. And then as I moved off, It didn't waver. We still stayed tight. He still texts me every day, and he still makes his post about me and things like that. Same with my brother. It's all the same when he started off playing basketball. So it's just how we were raised, pretty much. How he was raised. His dad did the same with him. So it's just, yeah.
That's the Fite family, man. That's the Fite family. That's how they do it, right?
Yes, sir. Big on
Love
family.
it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Look, in terms of ASU football, like kind of getting back to the X's and O's, the roster, that type of stuff. You guys defensively, the second year now in Brian Ward's scheme, a lot of the position coaches stay the same outside of the addition of a guy like Deron Reynolds. For you, just how do you feel like this defense is going to gel together and how they did it in the spring? Because defensively, you do have some different pieces, right? BJ Green no longer here. Clayton Smith, Prince Dorba kind of coming into their own. Anthony Cooper going to be done for the season, but you bring in a guy like Jacob Kangaika along that defensive line. And then in that second level, right, you don't have Trey Brown anymore, but you bring in a guy like Keyshawn Elliott, Jordan Crook, who we're going to talk to at some point here. And then you also got a guy in Cyrus Fiaseu. Just how do you feel like all these different pieces are coming together for that ASU defense, specifically from kind of where you're at in the interior of that defensive line?
It's with the culture we have and the kids and the players that the coaches recruit, it's easy to like trust those guys. Like we've been working together since January, but we all feel so close and we're all tight. So it's like when you get on a football field, it's not like what's he gonna do or do I trust him? Like you trust those players. So be able to trust the people behind you, whether it's the ones, twos, or threes, that's always big. Because we have a lot of depth on defense this year. So that's the biggest difference in offense and defense. We have a lot of depth. So just to be able to trust those guys, that's really the biggest thing that it comes down to.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you've been a Sun Devil now for a little over a year and a half. What's been your favorite moment so far? Whether it be a practice, a game, a meeting, whatever. Just what's been your favorite moment as a Sun Devil so far?
Favorite moment? I'd say the most recent one was when it was before a practice one time, and we were just waiting. We usually get in there about, some people get in there about 15 minutes before, some do 10, but the meeting starts 5 before. So I think it was about 10 before, and we had Joey and Jacob sang before. I think Joey sang Heartbreak Anniversary, and Jacob sang, it was some Alicia Keys song. I forgot what the name was. Well, both of them actually sang, so just we were all in there. They had the lights out. Everybody had their flashlights in there. Just waving back. So that was probably my favorite moment this spring. It was exciting. It was real fun to sit there. Everybody sitting there laughing afterwards. Yeah, that's how it is at Sun Devil football. The brotherhood. They say on the back wall, it's the brotherhood. So everybody, that's why it's so easy to jail, because everybody's tight. Everybody loves each other.
Love it, man. Absolutely love it. Look, last couple questions. We'll get you out of here. Kind of less football, just more about you. You're keeping up with everything that's going on in the rap game right now, right? Like just Kendrick and Drake specifically. Like you're up to date on that right now.
I see a little bit of it. I haven't heard all the tracks.
You haven't heard it all yet?
I ain't heard all the. Yeah, he keeps dropping everything. Every time I look on the internet, he drops a new diss tape. So I'm like, I can't keep up.
Yeah, they're just going back and forth, man. The reason I ask is because for you, obviously, for me, honestly, like that's the biggest thing going on in music right now. But if you were doing and setting up your own personalized music festival, you get 3 headliners. You can have anybody, dead or alive. Who are the 3 headliners that you're picking to kind of headline the CJ Fite experience?
Let's see. So I'm gonna try to target each audience.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Marvin Gaye for the older ones.
Okay.
I'm gonna go probably Alicia Keys for the younger, kind of like the growing, and I'll go. I'll probably do Lil Wayne for the last one.
Okay, that is a hell of a lineup that you got there. Marvin Gaye, Alicia Keys, Lil Wayne. You got something for everybody there, man.
Yeah, I got to.
Oh my goodness, my goodness. All right, let's say you're on a deserted island. You could bring 2 teammates with you in 3 things. But the 3 things are the only 3 things amongst the 3 of you that you can bring to this deserted island. Now, you can either take it like you're trying to survive on this island and like this is just where you live now, or it's these are the 3 things and the 2 teammates that are going to help me get off this island. Who you bringing and what are you bringing?
I know I'm bringing Sarai and Tristan. I'm bringing those 2. Let's see. I'll probably bring
It's tough.
yeah. I want to find something to contact the people outside. So maybe like a hotspot, a phone and a flare or something.
Okay. We're all about getting off this island.
Yeah, you got kind of.
Oh my goodness. Look, man, last question for you. My co-host Shane, this is his absolute favorite question. We've asked Dilly this question. We've asked a ton of people this question. So I'm going to ask you, CJ, what do you think is the biggest animal that you could kill with a sword?
Biggest animal you kill with a sword.
And mind you, they're trying to take you out. They're trying to take you out. Yeah.
I'd say maybe an elephant.
An elephant.
Yeah,
that's a big animal, man.
You catch it from behind.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Just know if it falls the wrong way, man, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, you got to move out the way for that one.
I love it. I love it, man. Look, before we get you out of here, do you have a message or any words for Sun Devil Nation ahead of the 2024 season?
I'd say just stay tuned. The Valley's been activated. So just go ahead, stay tuned. Keep loving the Sun Devils and join the Sun Angel Collective. That'll help for sure.
Arizona State defensive tackle CJ Fite. Thank you so much for taking the time today, CJ.
Yes, I appreciate y'all.
CJ Fite definitely going to be a major part of what Arizona State does moving forward, not just here in 2024, but definitely for years to come. And something that we're going to continue doing here is telling you how great our friends over at OGs are. Like we said at the top of the show, it is a flavoring Friday, guys. OGs, they've launched 2 new products made with live rosin and RSO, the OGs Naturals and the Big OGs. That's what I like to call Erik. OGs Naturals are vegan gummies. Yes, you are, made with live rosin, available in a sweet clementine flavor, while the Big OGs gummy is a mega version of Peg's Raspberry Orange RSO, one of the company's most popular products. It's literally, think of it like a little OGs pizza. It is 1 gummy cut into 10 different slices for a total of 100 milligrams of THC each slice with 10 milligrams. But maybe sweet clementines, maybe it's not your flavor. They got the creams, they got the fruits, they got it all over at OGs. To learn more about OGs gummies, where you can find them, head on over to ogsbrands.com. You do got to be 21 plus to enjoy responsibly.
Something else that I enjoy responsibly is our friends over at BetMGM. NBA playoffs are going on, but what else is in full swing? Oh, that just happens to be the MLB
baseball
season, baby. Diamondbacks super up and down, but one thing we know about the Diamondbacks is if they're going to score 1 run, they're going to score about 1,000. So that is a perfect time to get in on the new Home Run Derby Grand Slam jackpot promotion with BetMGM. You place a $10 wager or more on any player to hit a home run every weekend. That is Friday, aka today, Saturday, and Sunday. If you place that wager for a player to hit a home run and they hit a grand slam, you and everybody else who placed a wager on that player to hit a home run will split a $50,000 daily prize. So if it's just you, let's say you pick a long shot, right? Like Pavin Smith grand slam.
Dear Lord.
You're walking home with probably $50K or $25K and a new best friend sicko that you find out also bet on Pavin Smith Grand Slam on the same
Pavin Smith
day.
Grand Slam to feed families.
I mean, could you imagine making like a salary
No.
off of a Pave Slam. All the crap I've talked about Pavin Smith, I'd have to forgive him.
You'd have
for.
to buy a Pavin Smith jersey.
No, actually, yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I'd get the authentic one, but they'd probably give me the wrong jersey because of a brand redacted name not doing so hot. Listen, guys, you can get that offer on the BetMGM Sportsbook, or you can also get our offer with code PHNX. Deposit $10 after you open up your BetMGM Sportsbook account on iOS or Android, or at BetMGM.com and deposit $10. You can receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your bet loses. Once again, sign up for BetMGM. Use bonus code PHNX. Place your first BetMGM Sportsbook wager on the BetMGM Sportsbook mobile app, and you can get up to $1,500 in bonus bets, or you can participate in their Grand Slam jackpot. Check out the show notes for full details, and now listen to Shane talk about the disclaimer.
Bonus bets expire in 7 days. One new customer offer only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY, 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, North Carolina, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
All right, Erik, we talked about CJ Fite, right?
Mm-hmm.
And CJ kind of gave us an inside scoop as to everything that went on in the spring with him, that Arizona State defense. And he's a sophomore. He's a sophomore at Arizona State. Again, a lot of eligibility left. Would love to know the NIL situation, right? We know the NIL, kind of just the Sun Angel Collective, the state of NIL for Arizona State. Definitely on the come up compared to where it was months, years ago. But that's not necessarily the case for everybody around the nation. Don't know if everybody saw this, but apparently Boise State's got some issues. Boise State's got a couple different things going on. Let's start off with just the tampering situation, right? And tampering goes on in college football. It's illegal. It's illegal. It's illegal. You are not allowed to contact players and advise them and try to encourage them to enter the transfer portal because it's against the rules, right?
Hey, man, if there's one thing I learned at the Herm Edwards School of Coaching, it's that rules really don't matter. They don't matter.
Yeah, that's valid. That's valid. And look, part of the reason why this is something that I want to talk about is because the other day it came out that Boise State doesn't pay their freshmen. That Boise State's head coach said that they don't give NIL to freshmen because they want them to earn it. They want them to play their time. It's not a handout. However, college football is a little different, and that might be why Boise State's having some tampering issues. This is what the Boise State head coach had to say just the other day about his players getting tampered with.
Ashton and his family, and he consistently says, I'm a Boise State Bronco. I want to continue to be part of this. It's through the roof. Way more than I think people even know, to your point, BJ, that I'm probably not even allowed to talk about of what I've heard. I mean, and that's a testament to who he is as a kid. And that's just one of probably 12 guys that have at some point been contacted by schools to get in the portal because of this money, and they've stayed true to it. And their families have supported us. They know that we are different here. How we're going to develop them, how we're going to love them is different than other places, and they stay true to it. So that's going to be a constant battle with college football to where it is, and every transfer portal window is going to be that. But obviously it's our job as a coaching staff, especially my job as a head coach, to build those relationships with these young men. I tell them, I'm involved in these kids' life because I love them, because I care about them, to develop them to be the best version of themselves off the field and on the field. And that is making sure we show them how we're going to develop them for the next level, and keeping the families and everyone connected as you walk through the process, because that's what we're different here. If someone was here just for the money or other stuff, that's not going to be a fit here. No different in recruiting. That's why when I talk to recruits, I'm upfront about those things. If you're wanting things that don't directly correlate to you developing, do not come here. If it's about your jersey number and how much money you're getting on the first trip, do not come to Boise State. You will hate me and you will not want to be here. But if you're about developing to be the best version of yourself and be elite and want to compete, bet on yourself, come on. You're going to fit here. And those are the guys that have consistently grown and developed here to be the players that we've all seen earn it on the blue and in these opposing stadiums. And so those are the guys that are getting tampered with and illegally recruited. And so I'm proud of our staff, proud of our players staying together, especially when there's so many things pulling at their focus. And so there was a lot of prayer for it too. Obviously, I'm a man of faith. I pray for our team. I pray for our roster. And so I give God the glory for it as well.
Welcome to college football in 2024, ladies and gentlemen, where your players get tampered with, and now we are not paying freshmen because they want them to earn it. Erik, what do you think about that?
in a vacuum, it's a good idea, right? Oh yeah, come out and you earn it. Don't come here if you want the money. Like, yeah, that all sounds nice and good until nobody comes to your program.
Till you get to Boise, Idaho.
Yeah, it's not about NIL and the payment of players. It's fair. Maybe it's gone a little overboard as far as like how important it is to building a program. But the reality is, like, it doesn't matter if you like it or not. It doesn't matter if you believe in it or not. Like, sometimes you need it. Yeah. And as of right now, that program's doing fine. They did retain a lot of their players. They retained a lot of freshmen, these people that are getting tampered with. And you can acknowledge that it's good for a coach to be straight up.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, this is how I'm going to operate. And if you want to operate differently, don't come here.
Well, look, it's what we see at Arizona State, right? It's what we see at ASU with Kenny Dillingham and this staff kind of not necessarily outwardly saying that they're not going to pay freshmen, but it is more of a like, let's if you want to work hard and have more fun than anybody in the country, you can do it at ASU. That's what Dilly's been big on. That's what he said. And you see it. You see it firsthand. We talked to the guys. This is coming off just talking to CJ Fite.
Yeah.
Right? A kid, a Texas defensive lineman, 6'2", 300-something pounds. After 1 year as a freshman, he could go get paid serious money somewhere else. But he wants to be an Arizona State Sun Devil. And again, I don't know the exact numbers of what CJ Fite is making in terms of NIL. I'm sure it's something because he's that big of a contributor for Arizona State moving forward. But, like, again, NIL, I feel like it's such a slippery slope that we're dealing with because it's the Wild West. It's free agency at the college level. There aren't really, like, strict rules, right? Like, he's talking about players getting tampered with. I know of players that have gotten tampered with. It's happening all over the country, yet nobody's doing anything about it, right? So, like, as long as you have the idea that, hey, this is the standard that we want to uphold, where if you are an 18-year-old kid and you want to come here just to, wear the number 0 and make money, then this is the wrong place for you. While that's all good and fine, adapting in college football is also understanding what we said earlier, that this is kind of like free agency in a way. And if you want to win, and if you want to keep your job, then you are going to have to find a way to get some of the best talent in the nation to your school. And I'll be honest, I think it's easier than ever for a school like a Boise State or an Arizona State, which in Arizona State I feel like is much higher tier than Boise State. It's never been easier for you to go get a random 4 or 5-star player because now you do have money. Right.
Right. You have that option. And, maybe the reason why they're not paying freshmen is because they want to save the money for, what little money they might have for players who have proven themselves. And maybe you could argue that it makes the freshmen hungrier, but nothing is promised. And if a player has somebody calling and saying, we're going to give you X amount of dollars, even if it's not big, if it's more than nothing, guys are going to consider that. And you can't necessarily blame them.
No,
because
absolutely not.
You put yourself in that position, 18, 19 years old, and somebody's coming to you and saying, I'll pay you for your services. Another one saying, I won't. As long as the people that are paying you aren't like completely like scamming you and not trustworthy, you're probably going to go with the people who are going to pay you.
Yeah.
And maybe you don't understand that they don't have your best interest involved, right? And maybe it would be better for you to stay at Boise State, but you can't blame people for not
getting a check,
getting that option, right?
No, absolutely
and
not.
So it makes ASU look a little bit better in the situation they're in because you don't have their head coach coming out and straight up saying, we're not paying any type of player.
Yeah.
That's just not something that's going to be conducive to long-term success in college football. And if it is, and if for some reason Boise State changes the game and, like NIL is broken by the Boise State football program,
Boise State Broncos,
good for them. But I can't see that happening right now.
No, I can't see it happening either.
It makes you feel a little bit better about ASU's situation. Obviously, it's getting better. We've seen some pretty high-ranked transfers. Yeah. We've seen some pretty high-ranked recruits coming in. And that's not just money, right? Like, that's a big part of coaching, and that's why Boise State's been able to retain some players. But the longer this goes on, you need both. You always are going to need both in the current landscape of college football, and that landscape's not shifting anytime soon.
No, you're absolutely right. I don't see Boise State changing the NIL game in the near future, but what I do see is Circle K in my future. Because, guys, I don't know if you know this. They're America's thirst shop. They're Totri's thirst shop. And they've got a new free membership program called Inner Circle. That's going to help you save money every single day. No, it's not Inner Square. No, it's not Inner Triangle. It's Inner Circle. And they're going to help you save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 Phillips that goes a long way, especially you got a big tank in your car. And then every day after that, they're going to help you save 3 cents per gallon. It starts to add up, guys. And Thirst, I'm talking to you. You've officially met your match. Enjoy your member-exclusive beverage deal. Inner Circle members like you can get any size Polar Pop or Froster for just 69 cents. Erik?
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
There you go. Now through September 3rd. Guys, find it in the app under Inner Circle offers. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details.
K-Dot. Maybe that's a topic for another day. Maybe that will be in Hot or Not. Who knows? Maybe. I haven't actually decided on Hot or Not topics yet because we're just flying by the seat of our pants here. But I have decided on where I'm going to be keeping and saving my money. And I've been decided on that since I started keeping and saving my money. And that is Desert Financial Credit Union. Shout out Desert Financial Credit Union. For over 84 years, they've been the most trusted credit union here in State 48 and most trusted by me as well. And I know that it's maybe not as important as everybody else in the state, but you know what? This is a personal recommendation. You're going to love the people over at Desert Financial Credit Union. They've got checkings and savings accounts. They also have other stuff, mortgages, loans, credit cards, investment options, anything you need financially. They are here to get you covered. And by the way, here's the thing. You want 200 free bucks?
I like 200 free dollars.
200 smackaroos right in your pockets right now. You can get that for free by just opening up a free checking account with Desert Financial Credit Union online. You can go to desertfinancial.com/ASU to get that $200 plus. You can choose one of 3 different Sparky ASU related designs for your debit card to show your ASU pride, your maroon and gold pride with every purchase you make. Once again, check out desertfinancial.com/ASU for more details.
Erik, what do you think of my hands?
Do I need to be nice or no?
I mean, no, you don't need to be nice. I'm not asking you to be nice. I'm just asking you what you think of them.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really think about your hands. I don't have a strong opinion. No, I'm just saying I don't have a strong opinion on your hands.
Even currently?
They're fine hands. It looks like you'd have trouble like gripping a basketball.
Yeah, I don't have like giant hands. But they do.
Hot or not, Totri?
Hot or not. Hot, minus the calluses. It is hot or not time. It is Friday. So, without further ado, this one's going to be fun because it's just me and Erik. Me and Erik shooting the shit here.
That's right.
What's actually, let's get back to it. Let's whisper so nobody hears.
We're going to whisper.
Who's been hot in this office this week?
Oh, man, I forgot. We haven't even been making anybody else do this, but we're going to make me do this again.
I know.
Hot this week is Eddie Johnson.
Okay.
Eddie Johnson of Outside Shots yesterday morning. Just came in firing. Always comes
ready
in firing.
To rumble.
Always ready to rumble.
Okay.
Always takes it to the chat. So we'll give EJ a nice hot. And not hot.
Who was ugly?
Oh, also hot. Derek Montias.
Derek is hot.
He brought in donuts this morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've just been hot.
You've been nominated as hot.
You've been
this
nominated
week in the
hot.
office. So
congratulations.
Hey, let's go.
Congratulations. Who's been ugly in the office?
Ugly in the office or not hot? Oh man, I don't know.
His beard being shaved off.
Yeah, well, Derek said Espo, so I'll roll with Espo. It's not my choice, but that's the choice that we're rolling.
You know,
with.
it's the people closest to you. You don't even.
No, I know. I just completely stabbed him in the back.
Wow.
Nobody's been not hot, but if I'm forced to choose, it's Anthony Totri.
Wow. Wow.
Because your sweet treat draft.
We're not talking about my sweet treat draft.
Yeah, you don't want to talk about it, do you?
No, I'm getting text messages from people being like, "What was this?"
And public tweets as well.
Yeah,
that's
wild. It's wild, man. The public, the private, everybody hates honey buns, is what I've learned.
It's tough. No free ads.
What's topic number 1? Damn it.
Hot or not? Reality television.
Not hot. Ice cold. Although
you're wrong.
Although
you're wrong.
Although reality TV with me on it.
Oh, shut up.
Would go crazy.
Shut up.
Then it would be hot as hell. Tell me I'm wrong.
You would so be
Tell
on
me I'm wrong.
You would so what reality show would you be on?
What you tell me.
What that you would be on?
Yeah, that you think I would be on. Give me 2. Derek. Real quick.
You would be on Love is Blind.
That's crazy.
You'd be on Love is Blind. What 2 reality shows would Totri be on? I think Love is Blind is one of them.
Why would I go on that one?
Amazing Race.
Amazing Race.
Okay. I can do Amazing Race.
Yeah.
I could. Thank you.
Amazing
Thank
Race
you.
and Love is Blind.
I don't think Love is Blind is a show that I would want to go on.
But maybe you find love.
I don't think I would. I don't think I would.
They'd be like, oh my gosh, I recognize that voice. Is that from the PHNX Sun Devils podcast?
That's exactly
I
what
rated
would
that
happen.
5 stars on
Exactly
Apple
what
Podcasts and
would happen.
Spotify, and I got me a free Die Hard membership.
The dating ones are interesting. The dating ones are interesting. I wouldn't be.
You would be a Fear Factor guy back in the day.
Oh, hell yes.
You'd be a Fear Factor
hell
guy.
yes.
See, my dream is to go on Survivor.
Let's do it.
I would
Let's do
love to go on Survivor.
Next time there's like a duo one, let's do it.
a duo
Survivor.
the first ever podcast host duo on Survivor.
Let your wife know we're headed to.
She knows. I will apply one day. I haven't applied yet. I will apply one day.
You're waiting for like season 87.
Yeah, if I get picked, your boy's going. If I've ever gone for a month and there's just no explanation, your boy is on Survivor.
Can you at least take the hat?
No, I can't take that.
Okay.
Too much shade.
That's fair.
Too
That's
easy.
fair. What's topic number 2?
Topic number 2. I'm literally making these up as we go.
Hey man, here we go.
Hot or
Rock
not?
and roll, baby.
Man,
You think too much.
I do think too much.
Just what's clear your mind. We're gonna do something.
Just
here.
let me
close your mind.
Hot or not meditation.
Ooh, see, there we go. Ooh, wow. It's honestly something I've wanted to try.
Yeah.
I've wanted to try it. I'm gonna say hot. I'm gonna say lukewarm.
Lukewarm.
Yeah,
that's not the game, but sure. Yeah, sure.
If it doesn't
whatever
work,
you want to do, man. Whatever you want to do. Yeah,
this
sure.
is my game. No, if it doesn't work, then it would obviously not be hot. You know?
Yeah, it's fair. I would say it is hot, but it's something that's very hard for me to get into because I have ADHD brain, and I'll be sitting there like, focus on the music, and I'll be like, what's my foot doing right now?
Just gotta clear your head, man. Clear your head. Namaste, right?
Namaste.
That's what you got to do. Meditation is all about centering yourself.
You're sounding the smartest I've ever heard you sound.
I've got a master's degree. I just don't always use it.
But it's not like a master's in math though.
Would that make me smarter somehow?
That would make you smarter for sure.
Think about that. We're getting into some deep shit.
100% would be smart.
Think about that.
100%
We're
would
getting
be
into some
smarter.
deep shit.
100%.
Because I have a master's in mathematics, you'd consider me smarter. Why? Because I know numbers more?
Yeah.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Is that not stupid?
No.
You don't think that's stupid?
No.
I think that's dumb as shit.
No, I don't think
that's dumb
I think
as shit.
if you have a master's in a harder, like a science or a math or
if
something
you
like
stick
that.
a mathematician in front of a camera and tell him to do what we do for an
but
hour
you don't have to be
straight.
smart to do you have to be smart to do what we do. But to be in front of a camera and talk, trust me, I've met some people. I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you. You do not have to be smart to be successful in this industry. It helps. It helps for sure, but you do not have to be smart. I'm not talking about anybody in this office.
We got off on such a tangent.
I'm talking about completely other things. But yeah, not that I'm not saying that that's like better. I would say smarter though. I think you're a smart guy, but I would think that if you were like, yeah, I have a master's in like
I'm smart
science.
as it relates to some of this stuff.
Yeah, no, you're very good at your job. That's not what I'm talking about.
I'm not very.
You're smart when it comes to ball.
I took the last math class I took. I was a freshman in college. That was the last math class I took.
So that's the thing is like it's how you define smart.
Math's stupid. I don't need
agree.
math.
Anyway,
ESPN tells me that somebody rushed for 900 yards. There I go. There's my numbers.
Not hot.
I don't gotta add it together and we're good.
All right,
we're good.
I thought of my last topic.
Okay, let's get to it.
Big controversy in the NBA. The Pacers have filed like 100 complaints of different calls, saying that it was biased towards the Knicks at MSG. Hot or not, NBA teams being able to submit complaints about specific calls.
Cry me a river.
So not hot.
Not hot. Be a big baby about it. Also, none of that shit gets overturned.
That's what I'm saying. It's not hot because it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
No,
it's just
nobody goes back and
it's just like, hey, we think that they are mean and too aggressive.
The Knicks get 2. They can foul twice and not shoot free throws.
Who's
Like
that? Rick Carlisle is our coach?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, first off, dude, like, this is why old heads watch basketball today and they're like, well, our generation would just beat the shit out of your generation. Well, it's because you got a guy like Rick Carlisle and the Indiana Pacers complaining that Tyrese Halliburton's getting pushed in the back. Push him back! Push him back! Right? Like, this is what we're doing. What are we talking about here? This is sports, dude. Like, it's aggressive. It's not tackle football. I get that. It's not hockey. I get that. But, like, play to the physicality of your sport. Set the tone. You're in New York. It's the Knicks, of course. Of course, there's going to be a little bit of a bias.
Yeah, imagine walking into MSG and being like, this will be a fair game.
Yeah. Come on, dude. That's pathetic. That's big baby energy, and you deserve to get swept if that's your mentality. If you and the other team sees it, the other team sees that you have submitted these things. If you don't think that the Knicks are going to come out in Game 3 and do the same shit over and over again, probably more egregious, then you should just honestly pack your bags and call it a season as it stands right now. Mind you, I think that the Pacers are a better overall team. I think the Knicks win the series.
Knicks just keep getting injured, but it just doesn't matter. They just keep chugging
they
along.
Had what?
Chug,
On Wednesday, they had like 3 players nearly go for 30.
Dude, Josh Hart has only missed like 5 minutes this entire playoff run. He just plays 48.
Is he like a poor man's Mikal Bridges?
I'm not going to say something that gets me in trouble.
You're going to say he's better than Mikal Bridges?
I don't think he's better overall, but he's doing shit Mikal never did. And Mikal was not a playoff riser.
No, he wasn't.
Josh has very much been a playoff riser. I think if I have to like choose to like start a franchise, I'm thinking Mikal.
PHNX Suns podcast.
Yeah, but if I need to like fill out a championship team right now and I'm looking for a role player, Josh Hart is maybe number 1 in the entire NBA, which is what he does. He plays 48 minutes, great defense, hustles, and he can score too. Yeah. It's nothing against Mikal, but I saw him in that Mavs series, man.
What do you think? Hot or not?
Not hot. It doesn't. If it actually like worked, if you could like get something out of it, it'd be hot. But it's not because you don't get anything out of it. So why even? Why? Yeah. Who cares? Like, shut up and play basketball.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I think as far as going off the dome, hot or not, I feel like that was pretty decent.
It worked for
those 3 topics. Hot.
Money. Hot. Guys, that is going to do it for today's Flavoring Friday PHNX Sun Devils show. Do us a solid again. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. And if you've listened all the way through 46 minutes and you haven't left a 5-star review.
What are you doing?
Damn it. Come on, guys.
Promo code FORK. Not promo code.
Come on.
Special word FORK.
Come on.
Win a diehard membership.
Out. And if you enjoyed the content, give us a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow Big Hat Man over there, Erik Ruby, at Erik Ruby. That is Erik with a K. You could follow the co-host who is not here with us, Shane Diefenbach, at Shane Dief. In the meantime, guys, go Devils. In peace.
We all silly like the mayor.